Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video. And this is pretty much just gonna be me talking about my experience of seeing Skiz down in London at Hyde Park. If you want to skip all of my talking, which valid, I'm not gonna judge you babe, that's fine. I'll put a timestamp somewhere down below. If you click that, it'll take you to the uploads I'm gonna do of the concert and whatnot. So quick disclaimer, it's not going to be the full concert. I didn't record the full concert. I recorded just a lot of bits of things. There was no way in hell I could A, record the full thing, or B, I wanted to, because I wanted to look at them with my own eyes. So I apologize if you're expecting this big full concert upload. However, I am going to be putting a lot of content on this video towards the end that I took on my phone, but some of it I do want to keep to myself. So again, hope that's okay, but check for the timestamp if you want to skip all my talking. But if you would like to stay and listen to my experience of Hyde Park, then get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, guys, and yeah, I've got a lot to say. Okay, so first things first, in case you were not aware, BST, or the British Summertime Festival, is held in London. I think it's every year. I actually had never heard of it until I heard of Stray Kids going down to play there. I didn't realise that it was like almost a month-long thing of different artists, you know, big artists as well. We had Robbie Williams, Kylie Minogue, Stevie Nicks, that's, you know, that sort of thing, Kings of Leon, blah, blah, blah. And I believe Skiz were the very last headliners of the last show, I think. But yeah, anyway, so when we heard about that, we basically got informed from Felix himself by his own word of mouth that this would be the only UK stop for 2024. But that made everyone a little bit feral because that meant every person from Europe would pretty much have to try and go if they wanted to see Skiz this year. Obviously now we know that they have announced the world tour. We know that they are going to be going to America, Latin America and Europe. We're just obviously going to be waiting for those to be announced, but that's fine because they have actually confirmed Europe and stuff is going to be on it, so that's not a problem. So I knew I wanted to see Skiz this year. However, after my experience of Lollapalooza in Paris, when I saw them with Amy and Michaela, I did actually say to myself that I never wanted to go through that again in regards to a festival setting. It's just not for me. The view wasn't great. The pushing and shoving, the etiquette of people was not great. And I was like, I'm never doing it again. But then obviously they had to just do it in the UK, didn't they? And I was like, you know what? It won't be that bad, would it? It's just a weekend. I'm already off on these days. Let's just go. So me and Amy obviously bought tickets when they were first announced. We got Golden Circle because there was a lot of different variations of tickets. There was all these VIP packages, all this, that, on the other. And it was very expensive. Not to mention, obviously, the train fare from here where I live down to London is like over £100. You know, it's not round the corner for me at all. And then hotels, and London is just expensive in general. It's a very, very, very expensive place. But, you know, we had plenty of time to plan. Not a problem. Moving on to the concert, the festival itself. So Skiz were playing on the Sunday night. We had Kylie on the Saturday, and then I believe it was Stevie Nicks on the Friday, because like I say, it's a weekend event. On either the Friday or the Saturday, I think it was the Friday, I actually noticed on my tickets via the BST app that the original entrance that I was supposed to be using to enter the park, because there's two entrances, one near the stage and one at the other end of the park, had actually changed. And this had happened to a lot of people, and that was without our knowledge. This was without a notification. I will say that BST have been absolutely dire in regards to replying to people, a lot of misinformation. This was a big deal, and a lot of people had been separated from their friends. Some were at one entrance, some at another. And it was just very messy, very, very messy for such a large event. We dealt with it. So me and Amy actually went to Hyde Park on the Saturday evening just to scout out where our entrance was, because we kind of planned everything to be at this other entrance, which was near the subway stop. It was near where, you know, we were staying, blah, blah, blah. Because honestly, it was literally the other side of the park where the other entrance was. We went there, we had a look around, we figured things out. And it was actually while we were kind of out and about in London on the Saturday that a lot of tweets started circulating that people were already trying to queue at these entrances for Golden Circle. What people don't seem to realise is that Hyde Park is a royal park and it closes. You can't just camp in there. You can't just sit in there and litter and just, you know, be gross in Hyde Park. It's not how it works. It's a royal park. It shuts at midnight and reopens at 5 a.m. So you cannot access it at all at night. That is completely fair enough. I mean, you shouldn't be camping anyway, guys. It's gross. I understand getting there super early in the morning. Valid. You've had a sleep, you've had some food, you've had a shower. Do you know what I mean? But camping, I just don't think's right, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Anyway, so we figured all that out, blah, blah, blah. Saw a few people. There was a lot of what I can only assume to be either Korean fans or Korean fan sites lingering near the entrances with chairs, blankets, everything. And I was thinking to myself, well, there's no way they can stay there. You know, I mean, you've got suitcases. Where are you putting these things? But then it came to our attention that staff had, this is when we were back at our hotel, by the way, because we were like, right, we're going to have an early night. We're going to have a shower, we're going to have some food. We'll set an alarm for 5 a.m. because we want to be there. Well, we had said between 6 and 7 a.m. To some, that might be complete madness, but I'll explain a little bit more in a moment. But yeah, it came to our attention that some staff members who were lingering at the entrances of BST, because bear in mind there was a festival ongoing, so you can't have people queuing for the next day or lingering around for the next day when there's people already trying to get into there for the festival that was happening at that evening. Like I say, Kylie was playing, and apparently they were giving wristbands out to these people to basically say, leave. So here's a wristband with a number on it that we will honour tomorrow, and if it means you'll leave. But what do you mean? So the people who were following the rules, who were at home and chilling at the hotels, who were doing what we were told to do and not camp and not stay behind and not linger, the people who did do that got rewarded and got wristbands. And they were told, you don't have to use the entrance on your wristband. Come to this one, which was the south entrance, which was next to the stage, I'd like to add, and we'll honour your wristband. Well, that's not fair. They gave out 150 wristbands, right? And I thought to myself, right, I think that's just to get people off the park. I mean, just call the police if that's the case. It's a royal park. Just call the police and get them gone. Do you know what I mean? Why are you rewarding these people? Why are you telling them that if they show up at 5 a.m. tomorrow or whatnot, that they can be first because they've got these wristbands? They paid the same money that I did. That's not fair in my opinion. But apparently that was happening. I saw proof of it. People had BST wristbands with S for South and then a number on it. What the hell? Anyway, so that sent a lot of people into panic mode. People were already panicking because of the entrance changes. But hearing about these wristbands just caused an absolute frenzy, as you can imagine. 5 a.m. rolls around the next morning. We obviously had a nice lazy morning getting up. It was hard work, it really was. I mean, no one should have to get up at that time to attend a concert, especially when Skiz weren't on till 8:30 at night. Like, this is ridiculous what people have to do for these events because A, the lack of organisation, and B, just the sheer amount of people, you know? Anyway, we actually ended up arriving at our north entrance at about, I think it was about between 6:30 and 6:45 a.m. We had a bag of food and drink and stuff like that with us. And me and Amy, who had already had this discussion, and we had already decided, because since we'd seen the map and the layout change and the whole commotion about the extended stage not being there, we had already decided months in advance we were going to get there early because we wanted as much of a chance to have a good view as possible. That was just our choice. You know, we didn't do it for Lola. We didn't get to Lola till like maybe 4 or 5 p.m. And it did affect our view, etc., etc. We still had an amazing time, but me and Amy really wanted this. We really did. Anyway, got to North Entrance and there was staff there. We spoke to staff. The staff had no idea what was going on, which valid because it wasn't open, so you can't expect staff members to have a plan in place of what they're doing if they're not open. You know what I mean? They're not working, so what do you expect? Anyway, there was 2 queues that had formed on this field, right? It was only after we'd kind of joined the queue, one of the queues, and sat down and we'd been chilling for about 15-20 minutes, bear in mind this was before 7 a.m, that we then found out that they had numbered, the staff members had numbered the people who had arrived first with marker pens on their hands. But then as well as that, they had also accumulated together the people who had the wristbands from the day before, and these people were all at the front. I mean, I understand if you're at the front of a queue, I get it. But these were not official queues, okay? And I could have just wandered to the front of that queue if I really wanted to. and just sat down. But I didn't because I'm not an arsehole, but also British people are used to queuing. That's just the life we live. It's ridiculous, but that's what we do. So we all formed these queues and it was very chill for a couple of hours. We were literally just sat on the floor, you know, eating, snacking, this sort of thing, just chatting. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, commotion happened and everyone just started running towards this gate. And when I say you just get up and run because you don't know what the fuck's going on, that's what we did. And it was just this massive cluster of people. It was really dangerous. It was really ridiculous. You had staff members not communicating. No one was saying anything. Everyone was just bunched together. And then you had certain stays, which really wound me up, who I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to get people to move back because people were getting crushed. I get that. But they were screaming, shouting, swearing, getting in people's faces, just being downright rude. And I really don't appreciate that. When people are trying to actually do what you say, but we can't move because the people behind us aren't moving, don't start saying, are you fucking stupid? And screaming in people's faces and this, that, and the other. That's not how I appreciate being spoken to. And if I'm being brutally honest with you, you're not a staff member. You're just a person like me, and you got a fucking wristband on your hand. So no, I'm not listening to you, unfortunately. Anyway, it then got to a point where this cluster of people then got separated into 3 queues again. And there was no definite answer as to what these queues were. Staff weren't getting involved. It was just people screaming and shouting. Some people were saying one was for general admission, one was for wristband and numbers, which again shouldn't have existed. I cannot stress this enough. Wristbands and numbers should not have existed. Why are these people being prioritised? Why? I don't understand. But anyway, it happened. And then people were saying, like, if you've got primary entry, you need to be in this queue, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as I started letting people through to the entrance where it was like cattle grids, if you can imagine what I mean. And there was like 3 lots of cattle grids where that was obviously where we were going to sit from 9 till 1 until you were actually allowed into the park, because Golden Circle had the 1 p.m. primary entry, because that was where it was confusing, the primary entry thing. Anyway, cut long story short, they slowly started letting people in, but they did it with the wristbands, because people with wristbands were holding their hands up to show the wristband and they were getting to the front. Absolute bollocks. But as you can imagine, those 3 queues, once again, as soon as people they started seeing people going into the venue and showing that, not into the venue, into their queuing area with their tickets, everyone just pushed and shoved forward once again. These festivals or these people who are organising these events really, really need to have a system in place. If you know you've got a K-pop group, if you just do a tiny bit of research of previous events or stuff like that, or how big the fan bases are, then you should know, right, let's have a little bit of a structure here. They should have already had stuff in place in the park and people stationed there, even with just a few signs, just to keep everyone together and separated, so that there wasn't this big cluster where people were falling over, people were, you know, passing out, and this was before we even got in, you know, so it was just absolute nightmare. Anyway, so after finally all of that, after pretty much a dry humping the girl in front of me because of how much I was getting pushed to get through this 1-person gap, me and Amy managed to get in. And luckily, we were at just before the end of the first lot of, like, barriers separating people. So they closed it behind us, which meant the next lot of people would then be all the way to the other side at the start of a new queue. So that was fine. It meant everyone was sat down, everyone was chill. We had like 2 or 3 hours just sat. It was blaring hot heat though. I've like burnt my scalp. It was just not nice because we were informed by security that you couldn't take stuff into Hyde. The only thing you could take was a single sealed bottle of water, 500ml. So obviously we were using the toilet then because you could come in and out. That was quite chill and relaxed once that was happening. Nobody was being an arse. Everyone was sticking in their spot. It was fine. But then suddenly at about 12 o'clock, the staff was like, right, everyone stand up. Everyone needs to move forward and fill gaps. And we were like, why? Because there's no space to fit anyone anyway. You know what I mean? But then we were all sardined. People once again were pushing and shoving, trying to get through gaps, trying to worm their way in. There was people like, oh, my friends are over there. No, they aren't. You know, what are you doing? Cut long story short, 1 o'clock comes around and our line started moving. We were obviously the first line to get in, so that was fantastic. And again, the one thing I will say that the staff did really well was, as we were getting like ticket checked and the wristbands and like the security checked, it was 1 person at a time. No one was pushing, no one was shoving. You literally, They scanned your thing, your ticket, they gave you your wristband, they put you through the beeper barriers, they checked your bag, and it wasn't until you were sorted the next person in the line went. So that was really good, because they actually, as much as I don't think they did a very good security check at all, because I'll explain in a second, we were actually in nicely. But then the problem was, we then had to get all the way to the other side of the park to go through the Golden Circle kind of security, because we had different wristbands to general admission and VIP and stuff to get to the stage. And you couldn't run, which I really appreciate. Like, the staff were actually really good at stopping people running. But when I tell you, I've never speed walked so fast in my life, unreal. Just dragging Amy along, I was like, come on, we're going. Anyway, we get through, we show our wristbands, and then we are literally in front of the extended stage. The extended stage is there, it's wonderful. But what was just really fucking annoying was that everyone at the barricades all had these wristbands and numbers, and I just thought it was a load of bollocks, because we were all there the same time, we all paid the same money, but why were people getting prioritised? But whatever, very happy with my view. This was my view when I got in there. Very, very happy. Looked at Amy and I was like, we're actually going to have a really good view of them, and we were really happy about that. But that was about 1:30 in the afternoon. We then had 4 acts on before Skiz, who were on at 8:20. They didn't come on till 8:30, but it was 8:20. So we had a long time to wait. And when I say it got to the point where I had no room to turn because we were that sardined. There were about 6 people passed out. Somebody actually vomited, a few people behind us. So staff had to come in and clean it. You know, people getting dragged out. There was medics every left, right and centre. It was hot. They gave a lot of water out, I will say that, and they were very good and very quick at getting people out if they needed to get out, so that was good. Nobody was listening, so basically the staff were like, if everyone moved back, everyone can have space to sit, you know what I mean? And then we can sit and chill, because there's a long wait, there's a 6-hour wait. Of course, nobody did that, but some people sat down, but that meant that the gap that you had to stand between then the person who decided to sit down in front of you, non-existent. It got to the point at about 5 p.m, so we'd had a couple of the opening acts on, which were good, but because of the mindset I was in, I couldn't focus and I couldn't concentrate. I'm not going to lie to you. Heat blaring down. We had a single bottle of water to last us 6 hours. Yet the bloody woman in front of me had a tote bag with nuts, bananas, multi-pack of drinks. Like, how did that get through security? I don't understand. I mean, it got to the point where I looked at Amy and I thought, I'm going to have to tap out. I can't do this. I can't do this for another couple of hours. It was a lot. It was some of the worst queuing I've ever had. My feet were hurting. I couldn't move. There was no space for me to sit because people had pushed that much. You know, I had someone leaning on my legs. It was just, people were very, very, like, selfish and self-absorbed. And not to mention people trying to get in. And it got to the point where, luckily, the little group of us where we were not letting anyone past us. I don't care if you say your friend's over there. No, I'm sorry, you've missed your spot. You just go away, you know? And I hate that kind of that mindset, but concert and festival etiquette outside of Korea is disgusting. It's awful. It's dangerous. People become mean. People are nasty. There's like instead of helping each other, people just turn on each other. It's awful. You know, people were stealing water off people. It was just a lot. Maisie Peters comes on. She's the last support act. She was really good. I mean, I had my eyes shut and I was trying to literally just lift my weight from one foot to the other because that's all the room I had. I kept on holding on to Amy as much as I could. We were trying to support each other. Amy got sunburn on her face, on it. You know, it was just a lot. And I thought, right, we've done it. After Maisie Peters was done, I was like, we've done it. We've got an hour and Skiz will be on, you know? And that's just what I was waiting for. But it was genuinely the worst experience I've had in a long, long time when it comes to queuing up and getting into a festival. The last time I did something as bad as that, it was the first time I saw BTS in 2019 when they played at the O2 in London, and I queued from like 2 a.m. And it was very, very similar. Got a really good spot. I was very near to barricade, but it was absolutely horrific. The fact we have to go through that just to get a decent view is terrible. As soon as the banner comes up and we know Skiz is next, everyone was just pushing again forward. But luckily my section kept their cool and we kept strong and we were like, ain't nobody getting in front of us. But people naturally just moved. Does that make sense? When, you know, phones were up straight away. So that blocked a lot of views. I will say I got selfish in that retrospect as well, because I thought every other bloody person's doing it, I'm gonna do it. I tried to be nice for the people behind me because I'm quite tall as well, but it got to the point where I was like, I don't care. Nobody would do this for me, so I don't care. We knew they were going to come on the extended stage. We knew they were going to be close, so my phone was going up. I genuinely got to the point where I didn't care. But then people had light sticks, which is fair enough. Light sticks is cute, but there was just so many of them blocking views. People had their skizoos up. People had banners. And it was just, you know, everyone's here for the same thing. I just think concert etiquette has become really, really bad and really just awful. It really is. Amy was the same because we got separated a little bit because people were trying to push in between us, but she ended up next to me during Skiz at some point, and that was great because we got to experience that together, because during Lollapalooza I got separated and I was very much on my own for Lollapalooza. But me and her, you know, and when they came onto the extended stage, they were so close to us. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, seeing them so close in the flesh, it actually, Amy said she nearly fainted. The first time she saw Hyunjin that close, she nearly fainted, because as you see from footage in a moment, here's a picture if you want for context, they were very close. When Jisung was there in front of me and I saw him for the first time in flesh that close, and I could see like his skin and everything, my mouth was like, and I genuinely was shaking. I had tears in my eyes. It was a very overwhelming experience. But as you can imagine, everyone was just trying to get as close as possible. People were screaming, going mad because they were that close. And I don't blame us. But geez, people were resting their cat phones on my head. I was doing the same to the girl in front of me. I was screaming, shouting. It's like all kind of logic goes out the window as soon as they were there in front of us. And you know, it was awful. But then the girl next to me, I don't know if she was a fan site or what, got this massive camera out and she was resting it on people's shoulders, and her arm was up nearly in my face, and it did get to the point where I actually was like, not hitting her, like really pushing her out the way because she was really hurting me. Like, she was digging her elbow to hold this camera up here, like here into, and I was like, you need to stop. And she was like knocking my arm out the way. And I think that's where it was getting frustrating. I still had an amazing time because of my view. If I didn't have that view, I don't think it would have been worth it, in my opinion. You know, I can understand why people choose to go back and see the big screens and just experience it nicely without the pushing and shoving. You can have a dance and stuff, but the view itself for me was worth it. Would I do it again? Fuck no. Never. I was saying this in the queue. I was saying it in there. In the pit, I turned to Amy, I said, I'm never, ever doing this again. Tour is the only thing I'm now going to do with Skiz. I physically cannot put my body through that. No food, no hardly any water, no toilet breaks for like 12 hours. It does a lot to your body. And honestly, my feet, my legs, my everything was just in agony. Sunburn, just, yeah, it was a lot, you know, and I'm really trying not to sound like I'm not grateful for having the experience. And of course I put myself through this, like I'm not, you know, blaming anyone. It's just, I wish these companies just had a better way of like segregating and handling people, you know, but of course it's a festival. It's only really K-pop fans that go this feral, you know? All in all, Skiz were amazing. They did, I think, 3 extra songs because Felix was going feral and he was like demanding songs. He was like, do we want one more? We want one more, blah, blah, blah. It was great. Visuals were great. They sounded great. The outfits were amazing. The concert itself was just absolutely fantastic. And I really hope whoever saw Skiz for the first time had a wonderful experience, whether you were at the front, at the back, in the middle. I think everyone can enjoy it because it's visually just such a fun show, and they absolutely nailed it. And yeah, it was wonderful. They finished with Haven, there was fireworks. It was just wonderful, and I adore them to the high heavens, but seeing them that close has just changed everything. I watched the Chick Chick Boom teasers just before I filmed this, and I was like, I can't look at them. I've seen them in the flesh, close up. What do you mean they're just these famous, you know, it's just, it really is, as ridiculous and out there as it sounds, life-changing. And I will never, ever forget that moment I saw Jisung for the first time that close. And well, all of them, obviously, but as you know, I love that man. And it was honestly an out-of-body experience for me. But yeah, they just looked really happy. They looked like they had a wonderful time, and that to me is all that matters. England lost the Euros or whatever it was, but who gives a fuck? I was at Stray Kids, you know? But yeah, getting back and everything was hard work because they closed subway stations and people everywhere. It gets a bit dangerous afterwards, but I wouldn't do it again, like I say, in that way. I'd go and see them obviously again at a festival, but I just wouldn't do the way I did it this time because it was incredibly hard work. Like, looking back, I can't believe I actually managed to survive it. I really don't. But yes, I'll stop talking now. Hopefully you guys don't mind and you've listened. And if you did go and you want to share your experiences, please leave comments. Also to the wonderful people who recognised me and spoke to me and made the effort, whether it was at club night, it was out and about in London, or in the queue system. Thank you so much. You were all lovely. Also, if the very lovely Swedish girl who I met in Chinatown, I've completely forgotten your name, I'm so sorry, sees this and you've got Instagram or Twitter, please message me because that was lovely. You were so nice and I just want to reach out and just say hi and make sure we're mutuals and following each other. So please message me. But yeah, I'm going to shut up now and please enjoy my clips from Hyde Park. Please enjoy. It's like I say, it's not the full set. It's just stuff I want to share with you guys. And yeah, they were unreal. And again, if you attended, I hope you had a wonderful time. And yeah, I've got very serious post-concert depression. PCD, is that a thing? Like, as much as I hated it, I'd go back to 8:30 and do all that again. All the bit beforehand, no way. But yeah, I hope everyone was safe. I hope everyone had a wonderful time. If you were in Golden Circle like me and you had an amazing view, was it hell? Were you okay? Yeah, I adore them and roll on the tour. That's all I'm saying. I'm so pleased as well that they're opening it so that more people will be able to see them. They're going to countries I don't think they've ever visited before, so I think that's absolutely fantastic. But anyway, thank you for listening. Look after yourselves and please enjoy the following clips and I will see you very, very soon because comeback is literally in 3 days for some more Stray Kids. Woo! See you later.
Stray kids everywhere, all around the world. 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 Hey, we are Stray Kids. You guys missed us? It's a great big honor to be here. Thanks to all of you. We can get back here in London. Thank you so much. Put your hands up! Put your hands up! 누가 가는 건 top! 내가 비싸요 가는 top! 좋은 시작부터 변하지도 원해 놀이 행보와 업으로 네 관측하다 같이 놀이 그 말이 개토끼를 잡아놓은 피와 거리 손 넘지 말란 말도 필요 없지 위를 넘지 못해 밑에 고개 숙여 지나가 우리 네 걸원 이만 걸고 따라오는 저 비나게 힘나게 숙여 지나가 나는 내 책에 필요 없을 거요 챙겨 You like an area catch up The angle I like this I read it 따라올라 모른 everything like cocky Flying and rolling and rolling my way down, counting wins on the grand high. Rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, but they can't pass me on the
또 똑같아.
Loving, I guys having fun? And I've been thinking, maybe we should all just not go home. Thank you guys for having so much fun with us. Alright, do you guys still have lots of energy left? Are you guys sure? I can't hear you. Alright, because we have a lot more to go. It all starts now. Are you guys ready? Shakers members, are you guys ready? Yes, sir! Hey, you wanna come in? Let's go! 소리지 말고 와 비벼 비벼 Yeah, we probably have to say our final goodbyes right here. Because the venue needs to show people down, right? So this is the end? Huh? This is the end? Yeah, it's the end. This is the end? Right. Should we just not care about the rules and do maybe one more song? Let's do one more song, yeah? What do you think? One more song? You want to do one more song? How about two more songs? Two more songs? Yeah. Okay. Two more songs? Three more songs? One more song. Are you guys okay with one more song? You guys want one more? You guys want one more? Alright, let's do it one more. Let me make some noise! Let's go. It's your time to sing, okay?
Question. Do you guys not have a curfew because you have to go home? Yeah, they don't have to go home. You don't want to go home? You guys want to go home? Home? You guys want one more song? Yeah. Yeah, let's go one more. Phyllis, are you okay? Young boy. Phyllis, are you okay? Phyllis, you like one more? Phyllis, let's do it. You guys want one more? We're gonna do one more. I'm pretty sure we're not allowed, but because everyone here wants another one. Bloody hell, let's go! Let's go! Round of applause to our band members! Oh yeah. It's a really good night tonight. Does anyone know the results for the finals? I guess we can do one more song then. Yeah. Of course. Right, one more! Let's get it, alright mate, let's get it! Okay. Mate. You gotta hype everyone up here and then we'll do one more song. Alright, Aussies. You guys want one more? You guys want one more? Straight kids, you want one more? Let's get it!
알고 살수록 난 점점 더 집착한 탈출하고 싶어 그때가 지가 계속 꺾이고 있는 날 따라가 아직 네 자신을 몰라도 이곳에 Stay with me 서로의 눈을 마주치며 맘 편하게 just see 버린 내 밟은 다리 이제는 소용없어 웃기처럼 산처럼 쌓이는 짐을 그렸다고 내가 하고 싶은 대로 하고 싶은 대로 Now fly away 그리고 난 You want You're right now, step down, do what you want 난 다 해버려 주워 위로 남겨 Now whatever you want 같이 틀을 깨고 여기 아직 들어워 You're right now, step down, do what you want 난 다 해버려 주워
Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
See you next time.